whenever the condition is met, whenever the condition is met, we want the value of the field to be modified. Let me give you an example here. First, let us do one example. I have a Eclipse field here. Now we have setup, build, create, workflows and approvals, workflows. The navigation, setup, build, create, workflows and approvals, workflows. New. What is the object we have? Low. Next. New loan. Whenever a new loan is created, now with a loan type, mobile phone number, applied amount greater than 5 lakhs. Whenever a new loan is applied with applied amount more than 5 lakhs, then perform the action. What is the action we got here? Look at this. New field update. So what do we want to do? We want to modify the value in the record. We want to modify the value in the record. What was that? Status update. Here we have status equal to update the field as. The moment a new loan record is created, immediately update status equal to pending. Immediately update status equal to pending. Actually, whenever a new loan is created, when applied amount is more than 5 lakhs, automatically set the status equal to pending. So the value of status is modified as pending. The value of status is modified as pending. So let us go back to the loan. New loan. Some amount we give. Status I am not mentioning here. Whenever a new loan is created, status is updated as pending. What we are doing? Field update. You want some value to be automatically set. When a condition is met, we will go for workflow field update. You want some value to be automatically set. 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 Then we will use workflow field update. Whenever a condition is met, automatically modify the value on the record. Automatically modify the value on the record. Automatically modify the value on the record. Am I clear with this? Whenever the condition is met, we want to modify the value on the record, which is called workflow field update. The people follow this point, like how you created a task, how you created an email. In a similar way, we are creating field update. Which field you can update? I can update the field on the record. I can update the field on the record or it's master record. I can update the fields of the record as well as the fields of its master record. I can update the fields of the record or else I can update the fields of its master record. I hope you are getting my point. Am I clear? Clear? Okay. Now we are working with a single field. If you are going with the multiple fields, how do you work with this? How do you work with this? If you want to work with the multiple fields, how do you work with these multiple fields? Now, Parmesh, if you are writing with a multiple rules, if you have multiple workflow rules, how do you handle it? Look at the format. Now, I have a rule number 1. City equal to Hyderabad. Then, repeat. These are the multiple rules. These are the multiple rules I have given. So what was this? When city equal to Hyderabad, status equal to pending. When city equal to approved, amount equal to 50,000. When amount is greater than 60,000, city equal to Bangalore. So we have 3 workflow rules, 3 action. Now I have created a record here. Try to understand. If it is a single workflow rule, we know this is the action which is performed. But practically speaking, it will not be a single workflow rule. We will have a group of workflow rules which are running. When you have a group of workflow rules which are running on a same object, there is a possibility of ambiguity of actions. Then how they will be performed, in which order they are performed. Now let me take an example here. This is when was this action created? Now a new record is created. How the new record is created? Wipro, Hyderabad, approved. This is the record what I created. Now, when you have multiple workflow rules, how are those rules executed? If the rule number 1 is running, city equal to Hyderabad, then status is pending. It is modified as pending. If it is modified as pending, workflow number 2, status equal to approved. Already you modified the status as pending. It will fail. Suppose this is successful. Suppose this is successful. If this is successful, let us say now Status equal to approved, yes. Then amount equal to 50,000. I'm making 2 lakhs as 50,000. Then if I check this, what will happen? This rule will fail. So what happened? When you have multiple workflow rules, what is the order of their execution? When you have multiple workflow rules running on the same object, they are performing a field update action. What is the order in which they are going to be performed? Order of their execution. Then they are going to be executed in this way. Rule 1. Check the rule. If status equal to, if city equal to Hyderabad, true or false. Check the second rule. Check the second rule. What is the second rule? If status equal to approved, true or false. Don't perform the action. It will not perform the action. It will only check the rule. Check the rule. Check the rule. If workflow 1 is, if city equal to Hyderabad, true, okay. Status equal to approved, yes, true. Then amount is greater than 60,000. Let me make it. Amount is greater than 60,000, false. So what happened here? Workflow 1, if city equal Hyderabad, true. Workflow 2, status equal approved, true. Workflow 3, amount is greater than 60,000, condition is false. So we have 3 rules, 2 are true, third one is false. Now whichever the rule is true, get their actions. Out of these 3, whichever is true, get their action. So we have field update action. Now we have created it. These are the action. Now what happened? Whichever the rules are true, collect their action separately. Now these are the 2 actions which I have to perform. So what is the rule? Check all the rules first. Whichever the rules are true, their actions are performed next. Check all the rules first. Whichever the actions are true, their actions are performed next. Now these actions are performed as per the order of action created date. So which is created first? 20th December 2017. So first this action will be performed. What is the action? Wipro Hyderabad approved. First this action is performed. Once this action is performed, then the second action is performed. What is the second action we have? Status equal to pending. Status equal to pending. So the output is going to be, let me write it on the top, Wipro Hyderabad pending. So this is the final output what we receive. I hope you got my point. So when there are multiple workflow rules on the same object, then all the rules are verified first. Whichever the rules are true, their actions are performed as per the order of action created date. All the workflow rules are verified first. Whichever the rules are true, their actions are performed as per the order of action created date. That is the reason first amount of 50,000 is updated. then next action of status equal to pending. So what is the rule here? Verify all the rules first. Out of these rules, whichever is true, collect their actions, put them in a group. In that group, whichever the action was created first, that will be running first. Action created date. Now in this, 20th December 2017 is first, so it is going to be executed first, followed by 10th March 2018. I hope you are good with this. Followed, boss.
Satish, can we give the particular date, or we can give the
1 minute.
any log?
I'm answering a question here. 1 minute. Created date. Created date of what? Action, not the rule. It is not the action. Okay, rule date. It is the action date. Now we can create the action, add them to the workflow rules. It is a created date of action, not the rule. Now rule is what? City equal Hyderabad. Action we can add it, create an action first. Now I told select existing action. When I told select existing action, what will happen? Rule I am creating now, but action was already created a word which I am adding. Yeah. See, you created a record. Now Wipro Hyderabad approved 20,000. Now workflow 1, workflow 2, workflow 3. All the 3 rules are verified at a time. Now which are true? First one is true, second one is true. Third one failed. So what happened? This action is not coming to. Third one failed. Now what are the actions we have? Okay, workflow 1 action, status equal to pending. Workflow 2 action, amount equal to 50. Both should be executed. But in which order they should be executed is the question. If there are 2 rules which are true, both the action will be performed. In which order the action will be performed is the question. So the order of execution of actions are based on their created date. Dates are very clear, boss. 20th December 2017, 10th March 2018. Which is created first? 20th December. That is the reason on the record what happened? On this record, update is performed. What is the update that is performed? This is the one. Amount equal to 50,000. Wipro Hyderabad approved 20,000 is modified to 50,000. Obviously. Now again, why are dealing with the created date? Created date is only to tell which action should run first. This has nothing to do with the record, right? This will tell, created date will tell, created date of what? Action will tell which one should run first. It has nothing to do with the record. It is not the created date of record. It is the created date of action. This action, when did you define the action? Defining the action created a date. Okay, Amma? Yes, online, go ahead. Somebody is asking a question.
Yes, Satish. You said that in the rule created 10th March, 20th December, 15th November, right?
Yes.
That like on particular date that was created, or we can give the date on.
Now, when I say this action, look at the point, boss. I told action created data. Create workflows. Now I'm going with a field update. New field update. Object. Let us say case. Which field you want to update? Status. Now this is the action what I'm creating. When was that action was created? Field update is an action. When did you create that action? Created a date of action. It is a created date of action, not the record created date or not the workflow created date. It is a field update action. When did you create this field update? When you create a field update, the same date will be taken. Created date is a system field or a custom field. created a date is is a standard system field. Now, if it is a standard system field, can you modify the date? It will be assigned by the system only. You don't have a choice to create. You don't have a choice to assign the value of created date. Created date is a system field. Value of the field is assigned by the system only. Value of the field is assigned by the system. You don't have a choice to modify it. Got it? Now, at the time of workflow rule, what we are doing? Edit, task, select existing action. Actions which are already created, we are choosing it. Actions which are already existing, we are choosing it. Right? Now I am creating the workflow rule, but actions are already existing. Now I am creating a workflow rule, but actions are already existing. So, workflow rule created date is different. Action created date is different. Record created date is different. Now our rule is dealing with what? Action created date. I hope you are good with this. I hope you are good with this. Followed, Amma?
Yes. Yes.
So if the action created date is same, then it will be the time, right?
Timestamp will be taken. No two action will have same timestamp. When you are creating, at a time you cannot create two. It will be one after the other. Right. Okay, boss. It is a created a date. It is a date and time field. Created a date is a date and time field. It will check with the date. Date is mapping. Timestamp will be verified. Okay. I hope you are good. Followed? Followed or not?
Yes.
Now, let us go to the next condition. Listen carefully. Workflow 1. Now, okay, let me give this. Now there are two workflow rules. First, let us do our regular example. Wipro. This is the record what I create. When I create this record, check the rule. Rule number 1. City equal to Hyderabad. Rule number 2. What is the rule number 2? Amount is greater than 50,000. Now, city equal to Hyderabad true. Amount is greater than 50,000 false. So what will happen? Then workflow 1 is true, so the action will be performed. What is the action? Update the amount equal to 90,000. Wipro, Hyderabad. This is how I made. Now, if I cross check the second rule now, it will be true, right? I already checked the second rule failed. Now, workflow 1 made some changes on the record. Workflow 1 made some changes on the record. After the changes are made, I got Wipro Hyderabad 90,000. If I cross check the rule now, it will be true. But can I check the rule again or not? Workflow 1 and 2 both I verified. 1 is true, 2 is false. Then workflow 1 action is performed. Workflow 1 action is performed. Wipro Hyderabad 90,000. Action is performed. Now, if I check the rule now, second rule will be true. But can I check it now or not is the question mark. Now that is depends upon this option. Re-evaluate workflow rules after field change. Suppose if I enable this option, what happened? If I enable this option, because of workflow rule number 1, if there are any changes on the record, because of workflow rule number 1, if there are any changes on the record, then recheck the rules which are failed earlier. Then recheck the rules which are failed earlier. Then recheck the rules which are failed earlier. Recheck the rules which are failed earlier. Then in that case, what happened? Workflow 1, Wipro Hyderabad 90,000. The value of the record is modified based on the amount. Value of the record is modified based on the amount. Value of the record is modified based on the amount. Then check the second rule. If we check the second rule, what happened? Amount greater than 50,000. True. Action is performed. Are you clear about this? Suppose I verified. Yes, go ahead. Now, if this is not enabled, this is the end of the process. If this is enabled, okay, the same process I am starting. Wipro Hyderabad 90,000, verified 1 and 2. 1 is true, 2 is false. Then verified workflow 1, it says update the value called 90,000. I modified the value of the record. Because of the workflow 1, if there is any modification on the record, then cross-check remaining workflow rules which are failed. Cross-check remaining workflow rules which are failed. Once the rule is true, second time it will not check. It never goes to cyclic. Once checkbox is on the first rule only. Yeah, because update is made by first rule. It says because of my rule, if there is any change, cross check. Because of my rule, if there is any change, cross check. Okay. Now we got here. Next, suppose this is also enabled. Assume that this is also enabled. Now the process will start. What we have? Wipro Hyderabad 90,000. Check the workflow number 1. Check the workflow number 1. What is that? City equal to Hyderabad. True. W2. Amount is greater than 50,000. False. Then I made an update. Because if there is any update on the first, because of the record, because of the workflow rule, if there is any update, cross check the workflow rule. Then what happened? Cross check the workflow rule which are failed. W2. Amount is greater than 50,000. We give W2. Amount is greater than 50,000. True. Then make an updation. Wipro Hyderabad 90,000. Approved. Now this is enabled. What is that? Because of the workflow number 2, if there is any change in the record, cross check the remaining rules which are failed. Are there any rules which are failed? No, so that will stop. Only it will check if there are any rules which are failed. If all rules are true, it will stop the operation. Are you getting? So what is the option here? Re-evaluate workflow rule after the field change. Whenever the record is modified because of a workflow rule, cross check remaining rules which are failed. Cross check remaining rules which are failed. I hope you are good. I hope you are good with this. Okay. Am I clear? Am I clear with this? Okay.
Satish, one question, Satish.
1 minute, Amma. Online 1 minute.
Okay.
Pardon? Can you be loud? Okay. If you check, okay, if you don't check this one, the operation will stop here. Because the change is made by whom? Change is made by workflow 1. If change is made by workflow 1, he has a question. He's asked, what will happen if I disable the checkbox? If you disable the checkbox, what happened? Workflow 1 verified 1 and 2. 1 is true, update is made. Who made the update? Workflow 1. If you don't check this checkbox, what will happen? It will not recheck, stop the operation. Yes? Yes, online, go ahead.
Satish, if the option is enabled, it will check for all the dependent fields, huh? When
Not
the field is
dependent
updated
fields,
in the record.
not a dependent fields. It will check a remaining workflow rules which are failed.
Okay.
It will check the
I mean,
remaining
sure.
workflow rules which are failed
Okay, for that record, huh?
for that record. Now,
Okay.
already when a record is created, if all the rules are filed, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So the remaining rules which are failed, those will be rechecked again. Okay.
Okay.
Remaining
Satish,
rules
if you
on
don't
the
mind,
same. Remaining rules on the
Satish.
same. Remaining rules on the same record which are failed will be verified. Yes.
Satish, if you don't mind, can you show the checkbox in the system?
Re-evaluate workflow rule after the field change. When are you going to get this? If you are creating, let me
Okay,
create.
thank you.
Right, boss? Clear? Now, I will give one quick option here. I hope people have followed this. Okay, re-evaluate. Now, let us look at one use case. On a loan object, so I have a couple of fields here, right? I'll try to try to understand this. I'll make a use case of this workflow with a combination of generally how the workflows and workflow field updates and record types are used. Some figure I'm giving directly. I don't want to. You're supposed to write a formula and calculate it, but I'm giving figure directly. Okay. So look at this, boss. There are a couple of fields in the object. Now, Now this guy is going to create a loan. When the loan is created, only Satish should have an option of creating a loan record. Okay. Now the other user, look at this. I have record types, new record type. Pending for approval. This record type is available to students. Any type is available to students. Student default. And what is the layout we are taking? I am trying to create a pending layout. So go back to the loan layout. What is the page load we have got? So when you are applying for a loan, the other people should not be able to see sanction amount. Only this field should be displayed. When you applied, what is the when did you apply? What is the applied amount? What is your annual revenue? Who is the customer who has applied? Email, phone, status, mobile number. Only this data should be displayed. Where was that? Okay. Okay. So these are the fields what I got here. Now, these are the fields which should be displayed. Because when you apply for a loan, when a clerk opens the loan record, you will be seeing only the list of fields which are visible. Once the loan is approved, how the page layout will be? Once the loan is approved, what are the fields we are going to have? What is the sanction amount? What is the installment? How many? Okay, what is the EMI? The data we are going to have. So we are going to have customer, applied amount, applied date, installments, sanctioned amount. Then we have EMI. Now, if the loan is sanctioned, I want to show what is the sanction amount, what is the EMI amount, what is the installment. Now, when you open for the first time, when you open a pending loan record, what will happen? When you open a pending loan record, what will happen? Pending loan will be coming, where the sanction amount will not be there. The fields of sanction amount will not be there. Once it is sanctioned, you have to get extra field like what is the sanction amount, what is the EMI, all this stuff. Now, what I am doing here, created a record type. One more record type. New record type. Approved. Look. So this is how it is created. Now I have the second user. Who is our second user? Student. Student should not be able to create a loan record, but he can only see the loan record. I don't want the student to create a loan record. Okay, let us go to the student record. So what I'm doing, actually this is the old structure layout. Now loan. Now what happened? When you are clearing a loan, it is asking pending or education or so and so. Now what should I do? Student should not be able to create a loan. He can only see the loan record. So if the student don't want, if I don't want the student to create a loan, what will I do? Go to the student object. Go to the object. I give only read access. When I give read access, I give read access. So student cannot create a new record. He can only see what is a Leo users, students. Now, still he is getting a permission. What may be the possibility? First, let me cross check. Student, I remove the create. Still he is getting the permission. What is the possibility? What is the possibility? At the profile level, I already removed it, but still he is getting a permission on the object. So go to the student and see, did I give any permission set for him? Go back. He's still getting the permission of create. We already removed the permissions, right? User, student, student's profile. Let me cross check the security model. Sharing settings. Cross check role hierarchy is enabled or not. Branch. On the student, do you have any master operation? One is the loan customer. Now, tell me what is the reason why he was able to create. Yeah, you got the point here. There is a master detail relation, right? Now tell me why this guy was able to create. At the time of creating a master detail, at the time of, okay, let's not deviate. If you remember security setting, who can create child records? Public read and write. All the users who can access the parent record, they can perform, create, edit, delete on the corresponding child records. Do you remember that? In the master detail relationship, I gave one permission. In the master detail, I gave one permission. What is the permission? Okay, first let me finish up the example. I'll come back to your story. Now let's go back to this workflows. What I'm doing here now, setup, build, create, workflows. Already we told new loan. I told if formula based. Not of, is null of, applied amount. If applied amount is not equal to null, then perform the action. What is the action you want to perform? Field update. Why field update? I told field update. Set status equal to pending. If the status equal to pending, what should happen? I'm writing the second one. If status equal to pending, if the status equal to pending, assign the record type equal to pending. If status equal to pending, assign the record type equal to pending. So I'm doing the second action. Second workflow action, look at the point. New loan. Action 2. Field update. Then set update record type. Update the record type. So the moment you submit the record, status is modified as pending. The moment status is modified as pending, record type is also modified as pending. Right. Now I am writing one more workflow rule here. If status is modified as workflow rule, loan, approved loans. When existing record is modified, if the status of the loan is equal to approved, if the status is approved, if status is approved, then we are making a field update action. Then change the record type equal to so what was that, boss? Whenever the status of the loan is modified to approved, change the record type to approved. Change the record type to approved. Whenever new loan is created, assign the status equal to pending, change the record type to pending. Okay. Now go back to this new loan. See, automobile status is, go to this guy, see the record 005. What is the record type that is visible to him? Applied amount, applied date, annual revenue, status, email, phone, email. Right. Now I am going back to this, changing the status to approved. The moment the status is approved, then what happened here? The way you are looking at the record is changed. What was that? Applied amount, sanctioned amount, EMI. Are you getting my point here? So the moment we change the value, record type is changed. For the same user, same object should be visible in two formats based on a value of a field. For the same user, same record should be visible in two formats based on the value of a field. If the value of the field is pending, ABC field I have to see. If the value of the field is approved, I have to see XYZ. How will you achieve? Workflow rule with a field update with a record type. For same user, same object, you want to show in more than one format, it is always record type. For the same user, same object, you want to show in more than one format, it is always record type. But the record type has to change based on the value in the field. If the value in the field is A, I have to get record type 1. If the value in the field is B, I have to get record type 2. So it is a combination of workflow, field update and record type. This is very, very commonly used use cases. Very, very commonly used use cases. Updating the record type using the workflow rule. Updating the record type using a workflow rule is very commonly used use cases. Right, boss? Okay. Now, let us come back to the next one. Listen to the next case. What is the last action we have? Outbound message. What is this outbound message? whenever any change occurs on the Salesforce, look at the point. This is Salesforce, this is SAP. Now I have a customer object. My requirement is whenever a new customer is created, automatically this data should be submitted to SAP. Whenever a new customer is created in the Salesforce, this record should be submitted to SAP, where these SAP people will create them like, let us say, they have a table called account in which they want to create. Whenever a new customer is created in the Salesforce, the record should be sent to the SAP. In the SAP, they have to create one account record. So how will you achieve this? First, these SAP people create web service. Who will create? These SAP people will create one web service and give one URL. Some, let us see. Some URL they generated. This is the URL for calling this web service. If you call this URL, this web service will be called. So SAP people will give one URL. What we are going to do? With the help of this URL, this is given to Salesforce. Now, in the Salesforce, with the help of this URL, we will transfer the record. So basically, who is going to do the work? SAP people are going to do the web service creation. They will generate one URL for you. They will give that URL. With the help of that URL, we will transfer the data from Salesforce to SAP. Now, what was the context here? Look at this. Setup, build, create, workflows and approvals. We have outbound, new outbound message. And which object? Let us say account. Now, whatever the URL they are giving, you copy that URL. The third party, that SAP is giving one URL, right? Copy that URL. Tell me which fields you want to send. And you want to pass your ID. They are asking for your authentication. Set the session ID. That's all. When the workflow rule is met, these fields will be sent to the record with the following fields will be sent to that URL. That when the record goes to that URL, that SAP people have web service to read the data and insert the record. Are you getting my point? So what is our role? Our role is whatever the URL they are giving, copy paste our URL. Select which fields you want to send. That's all. We don't do any other logic from our end. So that third party system will create a web service, will generate one URL. That URL will be given to you. You copy that URL, select what are the fields you want to transfer and save it. So whenever the workflow rule is met, automatically that record will be sent to that URL. Are you getting my point? Are you clear? This is what outbound message, sending the data from Salesforce to external system. Sending the data from Salesforce to external system. Sending the data from Salesforce to external system. Am I clear with this? People followed? People followed? Right. So what we need to do? Simply we need to copy that URL and paste it. Nothing else from our end. From Salesforce side, we are not doing any logic. Simply whatever the URL we have, we are copy pasting it and using it. I hope you are good. Okay. So how many types of actions we have? Task, email, field update, outbound message. Now, immediate action, time dependent action. Immediate actions are performed instantly. Time dependent actions are performed at the given time trigger. Okay. So there are some key questions for your certification. Let me discuss that. Time trigger. When I say time trigger, what does it mean? At what time the action should be performed? I told 10 days after. This is one time trigger. Like this, how many time triggers I can create? 10 time triggers. How many time triggers we can create? 10 time triggers. So we can schedule 10 different times for a single workflow rule. We can schedule 10 different time triggers for a single workflow rule. We can schedule 10 different time triggers for a single workflow rule. We can schedule 10 different time triggers for a single workflow rule. In each time trigger, I told after 10 days, in each time trigger, 40 actions can be performed. Out of 40, 10 emails, 10 field update. So, how many time triggers we can create? 10. In each time trigger, how many action? 40. Out of 40, 10 emails, 10 field updates, 10 tasks, 10 outbound message. Okay. And major point, listen carefully. Listen carefully. This is a major point. I got workflow rule. City equal to Hyderabad. Action. Time dependent action. What is the time dependent action? Send email after. This is the action. Now I created a record, Wipro, Hyderabad, 2nd December 2018. I created a record. When a record is created, verify the workflow rule. Workflow rule is true. When the workflow rule is true, action is performed. What is that? Send email after 10 days of time-based action. When is the action scheduled? 12th December 2018. Alright? On 12th December 2018, email was to be sent. Then what happened? Now, verify the rule, action is scheduled. Then on 11th December, I modified the record. On the 11th December, I modified Hyderabad to Bangalore. On the 11th December, I modified Hyderabad to Bangalore. Then what will happen? On the 12th December, before the action is implemented, once again it will come back and check if the rule is still true. When you schedule any job, on the scheduled date, again it will cross check if the rule is still true. If the rule is still true, then only action will be performed. So on the 12th December, again it will check whether city is Hyderabad or not. If city is Hyderabad, then only it is going to send the email, otherwise it will stop the email. Whenever we schedule any jobs, on the scheduled date, it will once again cross check the rule. If the rule is still true, then only action will be performed, otherwise action will be discarded. Are you clear about this? Clear? Am I clear with this? Right. Next one. On the 11th December, I modified the close date as 15th December. Then what will happen? Action will be rescheduled to 25th. Action will be rescheduled to 25th. Now, the field based on which you have scheduled a job, if it is modified after the job is scheduled, the action will be rescheduled as per the modified date. On the scheduled date, action will be on the scheduled date before the action is performed. Once again it cross check. Once again it cross check. Once again it will cross check whether rule is true or not. If the rule is true, then only action is performed. I hope you are good. People are good with this? Clear? So, when the time-based workflow actions are not performed, when the evaluation criteria is created and every time it is edited, I cannot create time-based workflow actions. Now tell me some scenarios which cannot be achieved with the workflow rule. Now I told, whenever an account is created with industry equal to banking, create a contact record. Can I create a child record? Can I create a contact record? What are the actions we have? We have an actions of email, task, outbound, and field update. Now I told, whenever a new account is created, fetch manager record, update the status of the manager as false. I cannot achieve because what are the action I can perform? Email, task, field update, outbound message. If you want to perform the tasks which are not supported by the workflow, I will go to process builder. Process builder has more number of actions compared to workflow. Are you getting? So using a workflow rule, what I can perform? I can only perform the action of task, email alert, field update, outbound message. I hope you are good with this. Any other queries from your end? So that's all from my end on this. And I'll just give the schedule of remaining classes. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll just give you the schedule for remaining classes.